That's fine. I can have a quick one then while you're gone.
I just hit record, so that's in the recording now.
No!
Hello, welcome to the Chatgate podcast, where we break down and review a movie while overall trying to have a bit of fun. And Alex Clay's masturbate for some reason. I'm your host, King Thomas Hughes.
Hi, I relate to this, the main character of this film.
And I'm always the one who picks the wrong time to say shit.
That's got me, that has. Oh, it's got me. It's the funniest thing Alex has said in a long time.
That's saying something.
Well, yeah, Alex is back. Yeah.
Hello, I'm actually back in person this time. I'm
Sadly.
not just
No, we told him to fuck off. He wouldn't listen.
To
To be fair though, Hayden, if we tell him to fuck off, he'll just go wank.
Yeah.
Today we're discussing Bumblebee, released in 2018. It was at one point just a prequel to the main timeline created within the Michael Bay movies, but when it became a success both financially and critically for the first time ever, they went, yeah, what's this about Michael Bay franchise? I don't know what you're talking about. This is a reboot, and basically, yeah, they rebooted it. And they're basically rebooting the entire thing over the next few years.
Which, honestly, is probably a good step that they should take. Because
no more explosions.
Yeah, it's
no more slow motion within the explosions. Get it right, Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were some explosions, but it was like more
Not
natural. Many. It felt like that had a reason to be there.
Yeah. Not like a footballer getting like tapped on his leg and then exploding.
Yeah.
That's taking the piss out of two things.
I mean, it's like how, like Tom said while watching the film, there were so many moments where like there could have been
Michael Bay would have done slow mo.
Yeah, but there wasn't, and it was so refreshing to see.
Yeah,
exactly.
It was really nice.
Because as we're stating, obviously for the first time since the animated movie in the 80s, this is not directed by Bay.
Huh?
Yeah,
obviously. This time it's directed by Travis Knight, whose only released movie other than this to date was Kubo and the Two Strings.
Which was a good movie.
That's the only thing he's ever done, is that. And apparently according to IMDb, he's working on a movie with Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, God.
But other than that, he's basically worked more animation departments on films here and there.
Yeah, Kubo and the Two Strings is really good. I can't wait to cover it on Dragon and Bear.
It's the one with Matthew McConaughey, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see the whole like animation route.
Yeah.
The design of like all the Transformers, because they're a lot like they're more retro like
yeah.
they are similar to the animated like styles, but
with
more
slightly updates.
Yeah, and it worked really well, and it's like honestly kudos to the guy because they actually made like them look really good. So yeah, very, very, very impressed with this film.
Yeah,
and like without spoiling a lot, definitely my favorite Transformers.
I think I can pretty agree with you on that one.
Yeah,
I feel like in terms of team wise, I think the original's the best.
Yeah, team.
Obviously live action wise,
the very first one.
Obviously, in terms of a movie in general, I feel like this is probably the peak of Transformers, and hopefully they keep this peak for the next like movie.
It's got a very good like character-driven like story.
Bit like the original film itself.
Yeah,
but they don't keep adding characters that they don't need.
Yeah, and there's no unnecessary like fucking like action stuff.
Yeah,
it's like it's more story based, which I really liked. And let's be honest as well, we're all gonna. He's a lot like E.T. inspired, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
It's inspiration for it, and it works. No, the whole idea of it just being Bumblebee, it's like soloing away from the rest of them. It's a lot more like
unique,
human. It's
a
lot of heart film.
Yeah. That's probably the best way to describe this movie. A lot of heart.
Yeah, because it was stated in the movie as well.
I got a little fun fact for you too. I actually got to see this movie over a week before it actually came out in cinema. I got to see it at a special like early screening.
It just
Nice.
No, it literally was like an entire day of this. They did early screenings, like an entire day at the cinema. And
Oh,
I went to watch it. I was like, I'm pretty certain this came out around the same time as Into the Spider-Verse, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Also Aquaman. I think they're
Yeah.
all around the same time. I'm pretty
Three
certain.
good movies.
I'm pretty certain 1 week I went to watch Into the Spider-Verse, and the week after was this. And both, if I remember correctly, were early screenings. So, thought that was
Very nice.
Thought that was a little fun fact for you guys. So
That is
it actually came
Did you
out
want a fun
about
fact,
Christmas. I think it was about Boxing Day. It came out over here
No.
officially, and I got to see it,
Nice.
obviously early.
Tweet.
I think it's Boxing Day most of the world, to be fair. So your boy
Yeah,
Tom
I
got to see it early.
yeah,
Who's
this
Tom?
film, though,
I don't know. Some knobhead apparently.
I didn't know Dragon.
he's dragging his massive dick.
Across your face.
So yeah,
Why is this gone so smutty? So we had Alex masturbating and apparently my giant dick.
but
What's next? Your big bazongas.
oh yeah,
They're very firm.
action though.
Yeah.
But the cast of this film, though, is
Oh, I wasn't
Definitely.
talking about you, Halo. I was talking about Alex.
Oh, mine are very squishy.
Squidgy.
Squidgy. Got two handfuls right
If
here.
anyone wants to know what it's like, just watch Austin Powers.
Yeah. I'm fat bastard.
Look at my titties.
Look at my titties.
But yeah, I was on about this movie. It is like, I think
Yeah.
it's just a breath of fresh air.
Breath of fresh air.
Especially after like having like 5 like really dark, gritty
Yeah.
movies. It's nice.
It's
like,
more
sometimes
light-hearted.
it's nice sometimes to go a bit more light-hearted when you've had that. Like I say, when you're watching like a lot of like obviously DC films, a lot of the early ones, obviously the Snyder ones were really dark. And then obviously then you had to say like Aquaman and Shazam, which kept a bit of the dark grittiness here and there, but it went a
But they
bit
also
more.
made it funny.
Yeah, it went a bit more light-hearted, like.
Which
So obviously it's a
the
change.
comics do anyway.
So it's a change of pace, and obviously that works for Transformers because the
Yeah.
fact that Transformers essentially is it's a kids program.
Yeah.
So you want
And
this
those the
light-hearted.
kids want to watch it.
Exactly, and this is definitely the one that obviously you can actually let your kids watch,
Yeah.
even if
Not
people do
like-
die, but they do it in a way that it's not like obviously.
Scene.
Well,
They only show like the actual like Autobot deaths.
No, they show like
Humans
people
people
exploding,
exploding,
into cum.
but water.
Yeah.
Yeah, as Alex says, come. Or as I said during the movie, come. But yeah,
Yeah.
obviously it's obviously, but it's not as obviously.
It's not gruesome.
Yeah, so
Gore.
obviously it's watchable for kids.
Yeah. They're just like, oh, they're just water. Ha ha ha.
And it looked more like a lot more colourful.
Yeah.
And
Like, it's not just like the same colours on the Autobots and
Yeah.
Decepticons.
they are all like fucking. There's not like annoying like orange tint to it. Everything looks like they're all in the desert at every single film, even though they only did it once. That it just felt more real. as
Yeah.
well. Like the characters all feel normal. None of them are fucking crazy.
I did like the human characters for this film.
Except-
Like we said, except for the mom. At the beginning, she got more tolerable in the end, but yeah. The human characters were a lot better than the 4th, 5th movie. Fuck, you know. But I think they're not as good as the very, very first cast from the first movie, as Tom said. Like, I do miss Mojo.
Remember that fucking dog?
There wasn't a dog. Oh, there was a dog in this film.
Yes, there was.
It didn't have much of an impact. Just looked at a plug socket and was just like, "Don't do it, boy." But yeah, they don't have the funny parents. They've got
Yeah, I think that's what it's missing is that obviously the comical parents.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of like the main like characters, I feel like I do prefer these characters to Sam and that. I do like Sam as the character, but I feel like these characters have got a bit more.
they're more
heart.
realistic.
Yeah,
Obviously, there's tragedy within a backstory, which
Yeah,
leads to obviously making a obviously better character.
to me, they're more human. Like, yeah, because like they're actually like real people. Like, yeah, she's got a fucking shit job. She works in retail, and yeah. Whereas Sam had a rich family.
He's also in school.
That lived in. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's also a school kid for like a film, and then a college student for a second film, and then in job for a third film.
Yeah.
That was just character development. That's all with him. But I mean, for like a straight up one-shot character, because I'm assuming if they do Bumblebee 2, I don't think she'll be back. I reckon they'll focus on the story.
It could be like that. They could be like he focuses on her daughter or something, like a family,
or just Bumblebee. Obviously,
finds another family.
Let's find some other kid. Hey, you want to be friends? Sure.
Basically, like their new, she like her family's the new Whitwickens.
Could be, but I don't think I'd do that.
Yeah, no, I don't think either.
So I think that was just like a one-time movie with them.
Yeah.
Because I think if they kept doing it, it would be stale.
Yeah, plus I don't think she'll probably end up coming back after going to Marvel.
I mean, bringing her back. I mean, like bringing like
Memo,
or like a reference, like a little.
There'll probably be a reference to her. I'm assuming the fact that if he ever says Bumblebee again, for the fact that at the end when he says "My name is Bumblebee," when he says Bumblebee, it's her voice. I'm assuming that's probably we're gonna be a reference there. It's obviously if he speaks again, you use her voice. She's obviously synthesized her vocals and like Bumblebee.
Yeah, that might be like cool to do.
But I do like the 80s vibes to this movie because I love like anything that's like set within the 80s. So I like Stranger Things and stuff like that. Obviously the 80s vibe. You got the music, you got the setting, and obviously you got.
I like the 80s as well.
You got all these cool like references and stuff, and obviously this brings it to the table. So obviously the first 5 Transformers obviously meant to be modern day set, or well, modern day at the time of said movie. Whereas obviously he's like 87, I think I said. Yeah, 88 was 87. Yeah, 87. Sorry, just running numbers from my head. But yeah, it's obviously it's obviously past tense compared to those ones, and obviously you got to get it right, or else it just doesn't feel right. Which is obviously why Stranger Things works so well, is because they got all the 80s-ness correct.
I think they got it all correct as well.
And obviously these obviously did it well. Obviously, it wasn't like a full-on focus. It was obviously just the setting. Obviously, there was obviously references through like the music, obviously the cars and whatnot. But all that still didn't.
The helmet, the bike helmet.
It wasn't
the way to talk as well.
Focus. It wasn't the main focus of the film.
No,
it's the 80s. It's like it just happens to be in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like if you wouldn't be, it's not rubbed in your face.
No,
the music is, but that's
Well, yeah.
For you.
But that's good music though. Of
course it is. 80s music.
Apart from Rickroll.
Hey,
it's a good song, but overused. But it's a good meme.
You know what to do. Beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, come on. Let's look at the rabbits, Alex.
Oh, okay. You're gonna do what I did to Connor?
Oh no.
No.
Oh.
I'm not wasting my good strap on you.
Am I gonna be like in the book?
This is like a smut podcast now. Back onto the film though.
Very good film.
The first time in obviously how long? They've obviously actually updated the CGI because obviously they've had to do these new designs for the Transformers, so they've had to change the CGI to match these new designs. And obviously you can tell they've changed it, and because obviously it's a lot lighter than those ones.
Yeah.
And it's really good CGI again.
There's
not really any bad CGI shots in this movie. Obviously, you look at Michael Bay ones. Every now and again, there was at least one per movie like bad CGI shot.
Human CGI.
Mainly human CGI when they're interacting, like if they're running or whatnot with them behind them. Whereas this, there is a scene when she's running at the end with obviously them fighting behind her, and it looks perfectly fine. There's no badness in it.
I mean, there's these scenes where like she's like hugging him and touching him,
and it looks real.
Like, it looks like she actually is doing that.
Like it's like me touching the slowpokes right now. Like they're moving. They're touching. They're soft.
I fucking hope those fall over now. I will fucking laugh at you.
Not the
No.
first time.
But yeah, I just think overall it's like such a breath of fresh air. It's such a unique take on obviously the franchise. It's gotta go more obviously lighthearted because of the show, and it works so well. And I hope they keep that vibe as they go along. I don't mind a bit of the grittiness here and there. Like this did have some grittiness with the bad guys. Obviously, I feel like these were the best sort of bad guys since like really Megatron in obviously the first movie. So obviously every other bad guy since him have either been like meh or haven't done much, whereas these two have actually done a lot because they've done the rolled their nat 20 on their deception and their convinced the humans that Decepticons are good guys, even though they got Decepticon in their name, Decept, and
Con.
Yep, and obviously then you've actually then seen them kill a few humans here and there.
Yeah,
and almost just like bring a war to Earth.
Like even Bumblebee, when he went into like a bit of a rage, he still didn't kill them. I mean, he should have technically killed one, but you know they can't kill him because he's a good guy.
Why is it Alex like, and people getting punched by Transformers going, they should be dead.
They should be. It's a massive piece of fucking metal going like boof. That should be like getting hit by a car.
Have you seen John Cena? He's a fucking
no, because he's invisible because I can't see him.
That's been going for the entire fucking film. He's been doing this joke, and it's like, shut the fuck up, Alex.
Even though I'm the one who started it.
And Hayden did it most.
I was joining in a lot.
Yeah. And I said like 2.
Also, you know, obviously the retro vibe from the get-go with this film as well. The fact that it opens with the Cybertron obviously battle, showing off all the Transformers that you recognise from obviously the animated one, like the old school animated ones. Obviously the pink RC, obviously the retro looking Prime, motherfucking Soundwave with his fucking Ravage, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You see obviously all the retro looking old school Transformers, and you know straight away you go, okay, this is something different here. This is a lot different to what we've been seeing for the past. This is 2018, so 11 years. 11 years, I think it was, between the first and this one.
Yeah, I think so.
So obviously, you know from the get go that you're getting into something completely different here, and it's great.
A whole new world.
I hope to be fair, if they did do a sequel, it follows on from that end credit sequence where you see obviously the Transformers crashing to Earth.
Yeah.
Hopefully it makes sense to carry on from that point.
And plus, that's another way you could tell it was like a new world, a new like timeline or whatever, because they came to Earth
in 2007.
Yeah.
Not obviously 87.
Yeah.
And you can tell from obviously Bumblebee's design and Optimus' design that this is like earlier than timeline for it to be the same timeline.
Yeah, I feel like obviously the main sort of issue I have is the fact that at the point they didn't know what they were doing in terms of reboot or prequel, because the fact that there's so many references to things like obviously I said Agent Simmons is a reference to him. Obviously the Camaro, there's a reference to that. There's all these references when they're clearly putting it there to say, okay, is this a prequel? And obviously when it did well, they're like, okay, no, it's not a prequel, it's a reboot. Obviously that's my only issue is I didn't know what they were going with.
I think they was obviously doing. It was like they was edging their bets. Like they thought it was going to do good, but just in case, they'll keep having like little references to the previous ones, but also making sure that it could also be not related.
But loads of things say that though. Even if it is a reboot, they'll still have references to new ones. The old ones.
It's pretty much just like what Marvel are doing now.
Yeah,
they're doing references to all the old comics and old like shows and films.
Like Loki.
They acknowledging they exist. Like we know that they exist, so they might as well still use them, even if they're going to change the timeline and reboot it. It's still useful to have that little references.
Yeah. Noted. What else can we talk about?
The music in the film was really good.
Spoke about music, Alex.
My God,
We've spoken about the music, goddammit, Alex.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's usually Hayden with sound design and that. So
Is it?
Sound design?
that's you, Tom. Sorry, my bad.
Hayden's never done sound design. She was also
Sorry.
always the editing side of it. She hasn't done that for fucking months.
The only time I talk about like sound design is when we were watching Scooby Doo, or watching Kingsman, or we're watching Dora Explorer, because that was fucking great.
Okay, my bad. Sorry.
I will say
should've.
the action in this film is obviously a lot different to the other ones for the fact that you can actually see most of it. Obviously, a lot of the Michael Bay ones, especially the early ones, it was always not just fast cut. I mean, like the camera was always panned too low, so you never saw like the upper body of them fighting. But in this, you actually do. It fully focuses on them. So that's obviously again breath of fresh air.
Yeah,
they're quite decent fights to be fair as well. Obviously, you got the Cybertron battle at the start, which then you get to see later on again when it comes back to Optimus against like a fucking army. Obviously, Bumblebee versus these two villainous ones. I don't remember the names off my head.
you also see Autobot getting chopped in half.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not really a fight, but you know,
Cliff
torture.
Jumper getting like sliced down the center.
R.I.P.
Obviously, you also got a little cheeky little car chase in here.
Which
is quite fun.
Great.
Which is very funny for the fact that the amount of times you think that car is gonna get fucking hit. It's like they spin out. They're like, okay. Oh no, there's a truck about to hit us. Truck manages to stop just before him. Okay. Oh no, there's a hippie van about to hit us. Oh no, he stopped before us. Oh no, there's a military truck gonna hit us. Oh no, we're fine. Truck behind.
Yeah, and it's like that. It's good that they showed like each of the characters inside the car's perspective and
because obviously that scene was when I said that was when Michael Bay took slow motion in when the car went over the top with the van and going, holy shit!
And then explosion.
Yeah, but it didn't. It was just like a simple crash, like real life.
Mm-hmm.
But as you say, I do like the bit when it cuts in the side and obviously shows their perspectives. But the fact that
that's real life as it could be. Anyway.
The dad's like, "Oh, I'm doing all. Oh, it's good that was," and the mum's like, "Oh, we got a kid in the car." He's like, "I'm trying to save the other kid." It's like a lose-lose situation. And the same man goes, "You okay, Olis?" And he's just like, "That was radical." The family grows and you as it goes along. Yeah, they're a bit like knobby at the start, but they grow on you as they go along.
Yeah, the mum at the beginning was a bit of a bitch.
And the dad's a bit of a the stepdad's a bit of an arse.
Well, the stepdad.
The fact he's like
not really.
He's trying to push like these books on her, like, oh, maybe we should smile more.
Yeah,
I thought that was just kind of funny, to be honest. But the mum's like
they're more dopey. He's more dopey, I think.
Yeah.
He didn't realise he's being really offensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the mom, like she's just trying to protect, like work for the family, but at the same time she's not listening. Make sure you listen to your kids because sometimes that's when they need you.
Was that a hint at something, Alex? You're is that a hint there?
Oh.
It's sort of 1, 2, 3, 4 jab.
No.
I'm pretty certain it is.
Jabbed in the ass. He's apparently Slowpoke keeping him against his will.
I'm gonna vote you too.
The cancel Slowpoke.
No, don't you dare cancel Slowpoke.
No, I said the council.
Oh,
Slowpoke.
Oh my god, I wish.
I will say, obviously, after seeing this film, obviously, I'm very much looking forward to Hawkeye over Hailey Steinfeld.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I watched during this, and I watched her in another film the other day, and that showed more of her like serious acting, whereas this shows more of a comical and like, emotional acting. And seeing all of these makes me like look forward to what she's going to bring to Kate Bishop.
All I see is Hayden.
She gets her hands dirty. It's not Hayden.
True. And she actually knows what to do with a car.
Yeah.
And she actually talks nice to people.
What's talking nice to people?
Exactly. So it's not Hayden.
Yeah, true. She had some aspects of Hayden. At the beginning, very beginning.
What was that? Was he just through?
The Billie Eilish tag.
Oh, so the joke made sense because it actually was.
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So what would you like to talk about next, Tommy boy?
Hayden was about to say something before you butt in.
Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, I remember seeing her in the film Barely Lethal, and even though the film wasn't that great, she was actually really good in it. So yeah, definitely, I'm looking forward to seeing them that in Hawkeye.
It's good
Gonna be
actress.
Definitely.
Yeah, she is.
I thought it had a nice, solid ending.
Yeah, definitely.
I like the fact that B saved, obviously. I don't remember his name, but seen as obviously we're gonna call him Invisible Man because you can't see him.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he saved his life because obviously that just shows how much of a good guy B is. He can look past the fact that this guy's been hurting him, this guy's been hunting him, this guy's even hurt his friends. He looks past that and it's like, okay, I'm not a bad guy, and I'm gonna save your life. And obviously that's then respected by obviously his character, seeing him like, go on, get out of here, I'll handle this.
Yeah,
But I
and
like
then
that.
at the very end with the with B driving off, it actually puts like an end to the actual story.
Yeah, it's like a
say,
nice emotional end of obviously her and him saying goodbye. Him then turning to the Camaro, which is clearly a reference to the other films.
Yeah.
Which is another point I'm pointing out, the fact that was the point they didn't know what they were going with, if they were going to go reboot or prequel. But the fact that they're turning him to Camaro, like, okay, just in case, Camaro him up.
Yeah. It's like
I mean, it's something that could have been left out, really, but it was just there to like put like a little slight nod.
It's more of like it keeps it open ended. So like, if it was going to be a prequel, then it leads on to the previous films, or if it's going to be a reboot, it's just different enough.
Yeah, and obviously the end credit scene then just pretty much confirms it's a reboot for the fact that the Transformers crash on Earth really early.
Yeah,
basically confirms that straight away it's a reboot.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, they don't actually say what year it is they've crashed.
Yeah,
but like,
that's a good point actually.
They design it so like it looks like it's more early than what you thought it was, but you could also say like, oh, it's just that this is before they redesigned. They all redesigned themselves.
The thing is, when Optimus crashed, he crashed as them. He crashed as in that normal grey string, so he transformed after that. So that basically does fully make it a reboot sequence.
Yeah,
just nitpicking.
They can see it as like can see it as like a slightly different thing, or maybe they'll be like, oh, they came back to Earth but went back away again or something.
Yeah,
some bullcrap.
They have a way. Yeah, they're keeping it open ended enough that
which is good.
I think this is the first time we've not seen Megatron in the movie, isn't it?
That is true.
Because obviously, even though he was Galvatron in the fourth film, we saw his head. So obviously, I'm assuming that was probably another way, just in case it was a prequel, since obviously in the main timeline with Wiki, he's frozen. So I'm assuming that was obviously just in case. But then again, it makes no sense, obviously, them being obviously thinking with these machines for the fact that aren't that agency supposed to have Megatron locked away?
Yeah.
So there's a few obviously confusing things with it, but if you ignore those confusing things, it is a great movie.
Agreed. Overalls?
Well, favourite moments. Come on.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I've not been here for 2 weeks. I'm rusty.
I've got to say, my favourite moment is going to be when she first sees B transform, because the change from her being scared to it being B scared, because this is where B's memory is a bit corrupted. She didn't know what the fuck was going on. So it was a nice little difference that instead of the scary humans he saw before, he's the more of that nice human. She's helping him, and it's very ET style. That's that's the vibe. That's where the vibe comes from.
Yeah,
that's my fave.
At one point, I was considering that obviously the save when he saves John Cena's life, but I think I've got to go with the Cybertron battle It's because it's a massive sort of callback to the old school ones, and seeing all obviously these designs properly, like really well done CGI and everything. His whole battle, it's just great. And obviously, as I said, same wave appears with his fucking Ravage, and he does the whole out of his chest. That just because that's the main fucking annoyance in the Michael Bay universe was the fact Same Wave just became a satellite, and I wanted to see this sort of machine like summon a fucking transformer out his chest, and I finally got to see it, so that made me happy. So yeah, definitely got to be the opening Cybertron battle.
So I normally go for something funny. So my funny one would have been when Bumblebee spits out the Rickroll, but I'm gonna have to go with the car chase, the first one when they're running from the cop.
Oh yeah, when he's running across the wall at one point.
Yeah, that part particularly, because you're just like, oh, yeah. And it just shows that, like, yeah.
It shows, like, yeah, okay.
If you're going to go funny moments, I would have gone with a TP moment. So the fact that he just yeets like toilet roll, smashes all the eggs, and starts pounding the fucking car to death. It's the fact he starts jumping on it that gets me. He's like, It's like them encouraging. It's like obviously they're encourage. As I like it, obviously they encourage him to
Bumblebee's
smash the
like
eggs,
a child,
and then it just destroys it. And they're like, "Yeah, we didn't mean you to go that far."
Yeah, he's like a child in that aspect.
That's kind of the whole point. Because obviously his memory's all corrupted.
Yeah.
I know.
That's the thing. Obviously, the original 5, he's just basically a big kid, whereas this, he's actually a kid who is big,
but not that big.
Yeah, not as big as those ones. He's actually very small.
He's quite small,
just like his old sort of animation one.
Yeah, it's like he's a lot like the twins as well from the.
Yeah, he's very much like the same sort of aspects of the twins from the Revenge of the Fallen. I'd agree with that. Okay, rating time. So as I say, it's a breath of fresh air for Transformers franchise. It's revitalized people's interest in it. Obviously, so the fact it came out a year after obviously the last night, obviously that's why some people didn't bother going to watch it. But I feel like obviously after you've seen all the reviews, and people go, okay, let's give this a chance, and hopefully then that brings that same obviously the more money into the next movie when it comes out. So fingers crossed this helped save what is technically a really big franchise. And obviously it's not the first time fucking movies are doing this now. Obviously Snake Eyes is coming out soon, which is basically trying to revitalize G.I. Joe, but after only 2 movies, unlike this is like the 6th movie. I love how Transformers tries to save its franchise after 6 movies. G.I. Joe does 2 and say, okay, we're going to try and save it now. And then Turtles goes, yeah, he's just rebooted it entirely into an animation.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously the music in the background, the action, obviously the setting of the film, the characters, the story itself. I said the E.T. vibe. I love E.T. So having that vibe within this movie is great. It's just got everything you want. And I say, obviously it has slow motion, but it's that subtle. If you don't see it, you won't fucking see it. The one I probably spotted was when Bumblebee was going on a rampage, when the fucking John Cena's character threw her to the ground. That scene, you can see obviously some like little, it's very subtle. It's not like over the top slow mo. It's just very subtle slow mo, so you can see it, but it's not shoved down your throat. Eat this, you bastard! I want all slow motion. I'm Michael Bay.
That's what a good film does. It puts it subtly.
Yeah.
Where like you can probably see it, but it's like it doesn't take away from the film. Whereas before,
not like
a lot of it took away from the film.
I think that at least gave it like an extra like 10 minutes in slow mo.
Yeah, definitely. No, definitely.
At least,
definitely, it's an extra 20 minutes minimum. But yeah, I feel like the short run time as well helps this movie. It doesn't. Yeah. It's obviously just under an hour. It's not like 2.5 hours of fucking. As I say, extra 20-30 minutes of the slow motion itself. And the special effects, the updated special effects look really great. And as I said, the retro vibe, especially using the opening scene being the Cybertron battle, bringing back the old designs, that just gives it that oomph for me. So I feel like I've got to go level with what I gave the animated one. I've got to give it a 9 out of 10. It's definitely the peak of the Transformers franchise. It's brought it back into the light from when it was in the dark. Which is ironic for the fact that isn't like a comment in the animated one like something to do with bringing it from the light at the dark.
Mm.
I can't remember because
when he's like,
I tried to shut it out.
When he's like, obviously got the Allspark, I'm pretty certain there's like
I don't know.
a reference to that.
But I will give you a quote from this film though. In the darkest nights, even there's always the stars always shine brighter. I butchered that quote so badly.
Awful.
I knew what I was going for.
Hayden, fix him.
That sounded like a really shit Dumbledore quote.
Dumbledore.
Hayden, fix his moment.
Edit.
I thought this movie was pretty good. A lot better than the last two. Like, I know I'll put the fourth one quite high-ish.
You put it preferable to the third one.
Yeah, I did.
You must have sniffed a lot of cocaine.
Most likely.
Ass.
What can I say? Connor's ass is just full of it.
Anyway, continue.
Anyway, yeah, I like this film a lot more. I'd say it's a lot better. It's about the same level as the other ones, like the very first one, but I prefer this one. Shorter. I've got a short attention span. Ask Tom. I'm usually doing other things while watching films. But this one kept me ingrained, like all of the film, which was good. Engrossed. Not ingrained, whatever. Leave me alone.
Sorry, I was watching you slowpokes for. Continue.
They're not falling. But yeah.
You were saying?
Shut up. I'm gonna give this film. You can't do 0.5s in this one.
Two clear pokes out of 3.
I'm gonna say a 9, 8, 8.
I thought he was gonna say 7. It's like the first bit was like 9.
No, I almost said 10, but then I went to 9.
7 more than 10.
I went to.
Go ahead and
to
take
9.
it away.
Well, honestly, it's my favourite one. I would actually watch this like again and again and again. And you know what happens whenever it's a film that I can watch it again and again and again. It gets a special number. Not all films get this. Only the best films ever, like Dora and Scooby-Doo 2.
I don't know why I'm using the average calculator. I know what it's gonna fucking be now.
It's a 10. I fucking love the film.
8, 9, 10.
Hayden 10, so you know. That means it's really good.
I don't know why I even bother getting it. As soon as she started speaking, I was loading the average calculator and I was like, what's the point? I can clearly know where she's going with this. It's obvious what the fucking overall is. So, with those 3 ratings, it gives it Bumblebee a rating of 9 out of 10.
What?
Oh, science.
Slap bang in the middle. That's why I stopped. That's why I just threw my phone down. I was like, what's the point? I know what it's going to be.
No, I know.
My mind already knows.
I was just doing a comedic what?
MVP
comedic.
award time. So the Just Gave MVP award goes to Bumblebee. Because, as Hayden stated before recording, this is like where he shines the most. This is his peak. The fact that we got him speaking, we got him speaking for about what 10, 15 minutes normally, and obviously then he went back to his goofiness. And obviously, it was even more well done here for the fact obviously he's meant to be a kid, so it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
So this is definitely his shining moment, and he definitely deserves that award.
Yes.
The runner-up goes to Charlie Haley Steinfeld because she gave a lot of emotion to this film. She obviously had the comedy moments, but she gave more of the heart.
And
it wouldn't have been the same without her.
Yeah.
A very good, like, proper female main lead.
Yeah.
Like,
it wasn't just another dick.
Yeah.
Basically, copy and paste character.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's about time.
It was a much better character. It probably had the same amount of heart, obviously, as obviously, I think I would say Sam got within like as he went along, but obviously for the fact that it's off the bat, it's great. Okay, so my
just shows women are better than men.
True.
My question of the day, because R.I.P. the Michael Bay Award. Oh wait, no, it's produced by Michael Bay.
Oh, but nothing really like screams Michael Bay. It actually looks like a good film. So there's nothing that like actual why the fuck was this like in there kind of.
No Michael Bay Award, yay!
Oh.
Okay, bench it then. Okay, so my question of the day is: what other Transformer would you like to get a solo outing, either a prequel style, or obviously connected to obviously this new main timeline thing they're doing? I don't know; it's really confusing. So basically, what character in the Transformers franchise would you like to get their own solo treatment?
Hold on, let me just look up Transformers.
I can guess yours, Hayden Lindsay.
RC.
Yeah.
The bike version, I prefer the bike version. But it'd be more of like the bike version that we see like in.
It'd be interesting if it was it started off as the car version, then she changed to the bike. Like she upgraded. That'd be quite interesting.
Yeah. But I would like to see like the one we see in like Transformers Prime.
Yes.
Obviously, I used to watch that card, but CGI.
Yeah,
show.
CGI animation. I think you all know mine.
Oh yeah.
Starscream.
Starscream.
Shove Starscream up your ass and fucking let
me. Oh, not
blast
Starscream.
Ironhide.
Ironhide, definitely, yeah. Ironhide, 100%. That'd be like such like an action epic as well, because he.
Top the twins.
Ironhide or Grimlock, but I would like a talking Grimlock, not obviously just a bland sort of one, like not like a dumb, obviously the old school animation. Like, well, technically some of the new ones have been done, but I mean, like I think it's Robots in Disguise, which is like another Bumblebee fully focused series. He speaks a lot in that, so that sort of type of Grimlock that would talk.
I was thinking Grimlock, but then I remembered one, but I don't know his name. The one, the Scottish one. The one with the cigar.
He wasn't Scottish.
He wasn't Scottish, he was American. Hound? You mean the one that's basically just a fat Ironhide?
Yeah.
He wasn't Scottish, he was American.
Oh, my bad.
Scully?
Yeah, it was Sully from Monsters Inc.
I call him Scully.
Which is a current shirt on Disney Plus.
Yeah, Monsters Inc. Monsters at Work.
I feel like a cool idea would be maybe like a movie that's focused on maybe like a Decepticon who turns into an Autobot.
Yeah. That was another thing I was going to say, like, looking at.
But like obviously what Wheelie and Jetfire did. That sort of idea of obviously a form of someone who's witnessing all these actions as a Decepticon and turns into an Autobot.
Yeah.
Or even the other way around. A bit like Assassin's Creed did with Shay in a Rogue. Started off as a good guy, then witnessed all the bad they were doing and went obviously to the bad guys.
I'd also kind of like to see, like, when the Primes, or not the Primes, but like back in the day when like they first came to the planet, because they've been on the planet for ages from what we saw in the second movie. But
depends how they look at it, because they might do it so it was like they haven't been there for years or they have been there for years. It changes per timeline.
But yeah, anything like the second movie with like the very olden day cars and all that. I mean, it's going to be very hard to do, but like, yeah,
that'd be interesting. Like a really old timey style one.
Yeah,
be quite intriguing.
Like a World War One or World War Two.
Yeah, or even before then. Let you know. After then, yeah,
be quite intriguing.
Called tanks.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that's it for Chat Code Podcast. Thanks for joining us, Alex.
Unfortunately,
I'm back next week. What you on about?
Oh yeah.
What? Oh, for fuck's sake, Tom!
I didn't. He never told me he was back for that one.
I told you to.
I've got. Since we're doing it on a Saturday now, I can be in a lot more Chatter Caves than normal.
Hey, then back to normal routine.
No, please.
It.
I'm enjoying them.
I'm not.
Well, okay, he's back next week. Yeah. Well, I've been your host, Drag King Thomas Hughes.
I don't want to do this anymore. If you see
and I'm the one that they love secretly.
And
We
this
don't.
is this has been
Very, 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 very deep down.
Chattercave podcast. Oh, Hayden, there's a bee behind you.